50-50 in our household is, first of all, let's say I have 20 to 50 responsibilities.
Right.
And my wife have 20 to 50 responsibilities. And when I say that, that means she has a mother, she has her sisters, she has her dad, she has a lot of things that she's responsible for.
Right.
You know what she does?
Right.
She pays 100% of that.
Right.
You know what I do? I pay 100% of my life. When our life come together, my wife is a working actress
Right.
who spends time away from the family to go work,
Do our job.
build.
Right.
We decided together, because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again.
Wow.
She said, you can say that in the arena.
Yeah.
And so in our life, our home, 50-50, we purchased it together.
Right.
Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50-50, we
Right.
share it together.
Right.
Now, it's some things I pick up versus some things she pick up, but she does something I do something.
Right.
If we take a yacht trip, we could do it 50-50, or I can do it myself. But my wife is a working woman.
Right.
She's a boss and an independent woman in her own life.
Right.
She's like, I'm gonna put, you know what, that little 200 that you was gonna spend on this, I'm gonna throw something else on there and we're gonna go on a bigger trip. We're gonna
Right.
ball out. Like, this is my wife.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I like having a wife that's like, that's cool, you can do that. The house we live in, thank God, in Hidden Hills, nice house.
Right.
Whatever millions. We could have had a nice house on my 50% too.
Right.
It'd have been nice.
Right.
She was like, no, let me put something else on and let us live a little different.
Oh, yeah, they got a little bigger.
So we probably share 3 things in our life that we 50-50 on.
Right.
Everything else, I'm 1,000%, and she's
Right.
1,000%.
Right.
And so we decided that certain pieces of our life we would share in it.
Since 1840s, right, the beginning of feminism, women's roles has always changed. But a man's role since 1840, since the beginning of time, has always stayed the same. For a man's role, what is a man's role? Being a leader, leading his family, taking care of his family, making sure that his wife is good, making sure that his kids are good. That's what makes a man, right? That's what makes a man. What is his role? What is his duty when it comes down to his wife? Making sure she's good, making sure she got clothes on her back, food in her mouth, right? Making sure she making sure she's good enough to do her job and play her role. But a lot of your women today don't want to play their role, right? Prime example, you look at first wave feminism. Women said, hey, man, listen, we got the easiest job in the world. We get to watch kids. We get to take care of the household. We get to clean up. We get to make food, right? We got freaking 20 other women down the block, right, that are my best friends that are literally doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, right? And I'm constantly over there talking to them or whatever. I feel like that's boring. I want to be able to contribute to society and contribute to my household, right? And men were behind that. Men, I don't have an issue with my wife going out to work to come home to bring us some money, to put some money on the table, right? I don't have an issue with that. But the issue that does arise is who's going to watch the kids? Who's going to take care of the kids, right? So now we got to sit over here and spend money to go out our way. So now because you decided that you want to change your role, now we're hurting a little bit. Now we got to sit over here and pay somebody to watch our kids, right? Cool, whatever, fine, right? Allow the woman to be able to vote and do that. Fast forward, you look at feminism now. This is where sex liberation comes into play. This is where women said, you know what? Men get to sleep around and, not get penalized for it. So we should be able to sleep around, and not get penalized for it because they're doing it. Not for any particular reason, but because they're doing it, right? So then, fast forward, you're going to skip over the third wave feminism, fourth wave feminism. Let's talk about your modern day feminism, right? Where, women went from being sexually liberated to being able to sleep with whoever they want to now they sleep with whoever they want, get ran through, and then cry and complain when men say, you know what, hey, too high of a body count, or hey, I couldn't see you, you just wouldn't be a good fit to be a mother for me, right? Women get upset with that. Women cry, complain about that. This whole time, women's roles continuing to change. You went from the most traditional woman. You went from having the most traditional woman before 1840s to now having the most thottiest, of chicks in 2023, right? These chicks are hottie, right? Hottie. Let's just be real, right? Let's just be real. Because, like, even your women who don't condone being ran through, right? Who wouldn't be ran through themselves, they will still defend women who are ran through. They will still defend women, or they will defend your feminists who say, you know what, hey, you shouldn't slut shame me. They will defend women who sit up here and say, well, you know what, hey, as a woman, I should be able to do whatever I want because y'all as a man can do whatever y'all want, but we're not the same, right? And it's just funny because feminism was all about equality. But once again, right, if feminism is all about equality, how is it that a man's role has never changed, right? But ever since feminism has started, literally every wave is just getting worse and worse and worse. People, look it up. Look up feminists. Look at waves, feminist waves. Just look them up, man. It's just been getting worse and worse every single year. Women's role has changed, and women will see this. Women will see this and still look at it and find some way to excuse the behavior, right? The point that I'm making is women don't want men to lead anymore. You mean to tell me, like, y'all look at these comments, you literally have black women sitting over here saying, right, instead of looking at it as, okay, sis got issues, sis, she has too much masculine energy. Any man can tell you that. Any man can tell you that she runs that relationship. For women, they don't see that. They see, oh, I see a strong, independent black woman, right? I see a strong, independent woman in general. They rather see that. They see that instead of saying, you know what? Sis is just in the wrong. She's just trying to be masculine for no reason, right? But somehow, for black women, somehow for just women in general, they look at that and they say, well, all I'm seeing is you took her out of her feminine era. You took her out of her feminine energy because you simply said, this right here is what I paid for. Yes, I get it. Women don't want to feel like they're under a man, even though they are. But they don't want to feel like they're under a man. Listen, people understand. See, this is the issue with feminism today. They push this narrative that there's a patriarchy and that men are just this big old mean being that they want to see women fail. No. Your average man will sit over here and date a woman and sit over here and treat her like a queen as long as she treat him like a king. But a lot of you women don't want that. A lot of you women want to be treated like kings, and it's like there can't be two kings in a household. There can't be two kings in a household. She has a lot of masculine energy, and she wants to be a king of the household. Like, I mean, any man with common sense will look at that relationship the same way they look at Will Smith and Jada relationship. Discombobulated. But, hey, people want to sit over here and, oh, well, that's not true. Oh, well, that's BS. Hey, it is what it is. Y'all see it. Y'all can see it. But once again, the point that I'm making in this video is that, of course, as time went on, we do have more feminine men than ever. We do have, more emotional men than ever. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, our roles are still the same, right? Our roles are still the same. Our roles are still the same as a man. Your job is to lead. Your job is to take care of a household, to take care of a family. That's your job as a man, right? But a lot of you women don't want that. And once again, that's fine. But this is why you see a high divorce rate. This is why you see a low marriage rate. This is why you see a lot of your sisters tend to be single mothers. This is why you see a lot of women tend to be single mothers, because a lot of your women rather be boss babes and independent chicks and single mothers rather than being traditional women. A lot of your women today, right? This is why I say a lot of your modern women are feminists, and they don't even know it. I say about 95% of your women in today's in America today are feminists, right? And they don't even know it. A lot of women argue with me, I'm not a feminist, I'm not, but yet, can you go clean some dishes? Why I gotta clean dishes? You got a man for that too. He got 2 hands, he got 2 feet. Well, can you make my plate? Well, God gave you 2 hands and 2 feet. I mean, I get that response from black women all the time. So, I mean, it's just like, so once again, it just goes to show the difference between men and women, right? It just goes to show, how women changed over time and how men pretty much stayed the same, or at least roles.